After this week, we've just got a few changes to quickly run through. You know, at the beginning of the meeting, there was that disturbance with the apostate outside. Well, we don't want that this week anymore, so they're changing the ministry arrangements for this week at the Kingdom Hall. So tomorrow, well, it will be 10:30 at the Kingdom Hall. It's not. It's at 20. And then, again on Thursday at 10:30, it will be at Sister. Then, Saturday will be at. So you write that down if you've got that. It is tomorrow, Thursday, and then Saturday. So you'll have to make adjustments in that schedule over there as well. So another thing quickly. So tonight, that person deposit might be back tonight at 9 o'clock. So all possibility he will be there. So just do as you did when you were coming in. No eye contact. Don't engage him in conversation at all. The best thing is just walk straight past and keep going as fast as you can, so you don't listen to him too much, because he's only there to just cause disturbance. So straight past him, don't engage, don't take anything off him if he offers you anything either as well. So that's the end of our meeting. So now we're going to have our first part of our visit this week, our first talk, and it is loyalty, part of the new personality, and we invite Brother Rose to the platform. Jehovah's saying, I know you
can do it. But it is a challenge, and that's why verse 23 says, you should continue to be made new in your dominant mental attitude. We have a bit of a conflict going on, don't we? Because, as imperfect humans, it's very easy to follow the heart rather than to develop true loyalty. What do I mean by that? Well, if we follow the heart rather than cultivate true loyalty, what happens to loyalties? Well, this is what happens to them. They become misguided loyalties, divided loyalties, conflicted loyalties. But when we cultivate and develop true loyalty, it's a very special thing. And that's what we want to talk about this evening. And we've got to look at this not just from the point of view that true loyalty is a requirement and therefore I should do it. It's a bit clinical, that, isn't it? If you open your Bibles to Micah chapter 6, Micah chapter 6. Now, we've read these words in verse 8 many times, but it's interesting when you look at it again, there's always some gem that jumps out at you. And in verse 8, it says, he has told you, O man, what is good, and what is Jehovah requiring of you? Notice this, only to exercise justice, to cherish loyalty. I wonder how many times we've read those words and never really stopped to think about that. To cherish loyalty. When you cherish something, how do you feel about it? It's special. If you cherish it, you protect it, you nurture it, you care for it, you look after it, you prize it. Get the idea? Do we cherish this beautiful, true loyalty, which is linked to an intimate personal relationship with Jehovah God? Well, that's the loyalty that we're talking about this evening. Now, how do we develop such true loyalty? How do we do it? Well, for most people, let's be honest, their loyalties are determined, if you like, by what? Place of birth, nationality, blood ties, or the religion in which they were born. Would that be true? For lots of people, that's true. The only trouble with those loyalties is that they're fickle. They can change very quickly. Just to illustrate the point, earlier in this year, I don't know whether you're into athletics, but if you watched any of the World Athletics that were hosted in London, there was one particular athlete that was supposedly got the UK strip on, and everyone was excited by this athlete, and they were very good, very, very talented, and they did very well in the athletics, and the whole of UK was cheering this person on. But when you did a little bit of research about this athlete, it was only about 2 years ago that they actually changed their citizenship to become UK citizens. So think about it. If they had come here to London and worn the strip of the country from which they were born, I wonder how many people in the UK would have been cheering them on. You see how fickle it is? It's quite empty, it's quite hollow, it's not very effective at all. But true loyalty is different. You see, it's not something we're born with. It's not dependent on where we live. It's dependent on developing this relationship with Jehovah God. And how do we do that? Well, as we study the scriptures, as we build a relationship with Jehovah, that devotion gets stronger. Like Jesus, we're able then and are motivated to obey Jehovah and do his will, even in difficult circumstances, even when the world would like to test that loyalty. And it can be tested, can't it? You see, true loyalty has to be put above any other loyalties we might have. It affects every relationship we have. Let's illustrate that by looking at a few examples. It is true to say that in the world, pride of race and social standing are everything. We noticed that recently. It's really emphasised it. Pride of race, social standing, where you were born, your upbringing, what you have, where you came from, mean everything to the world. But how much does it mean to Jehovah God? Does it mean anything to him, do you think? Race? Social standing? How much you got in the bank? Whether you're middle class, lower class, upper class, coach class, or any other class. In fact, those classes have changed. Apparently there's about 9 or true loyalty, if we're being made new in our dominant mental attitude, rather than allowing our neighbourhood or the way we were raised or the community in which we live to influence our thinking, notice what 1 John 3 verse 10 helps us to do. So 1 John 3 verse 10, true loyalty is not governed by those around us, it's governed by our love for Jehovah. And it says in verse 10, 1 John 3, the children of God and the children of the devil are evident by this fact. Whoever does not practice righteousness does not originate with God, nor does the one who does not love his brother. If we do not love our brother because he is of a different race, different language, different social standing, if we don't love him, then actually we don't love God. You see, what we need to do is, as we develop that relationship with Jehovah and we see things from his perspective, true loyalty overcomes such pharisaical feelings of superiority, and we suddenly realise that actually we're just fellow believers. We had a lovely watch that just recently discussing that, didn't we? And how we can do that to make sure that we're not affected by the world's attitude. Here's another example. You would have heard the phrase, no doubt, blood is thicker than water. Now this is where our loyalties can become conflicted, can't they? Because perhaps a family member gets into trouble and needs help, and sometimes our emotions get the better of us and our loyalties can become conflicted. Now one family that faced that very situation, a very difficult situation, in fact they were facing death, was the family of Korah. Remember Korah in the Bible? Who was supported by his companions of the Reubenite tribe, Dathan and Abiram. Well, Korah, of course, was a Kohathite Levite. Now, if you know anything about the Levites, there were 3 divisions of the Levites. And they all had their specific duties to do with the tabernacle and worship. The different tribes, divisions of the Levites, some looked after the panel frames and the stocking pedestals, others looked after the tent cloths, but the Kohathites, unlike the other 2 divisions, had a very special privilege. They had the privilege of carrying the sacred utensils of the tabernacle, including the Ark of the Covenant. They didn't have wagons to carry these utensils, they were carried on the shoulder. So if you like, Korah had the creme de la creme of jobs. What a privilege he had. And yet, was he content? Was he happy? Constantly moaning at Aaron and Moses, never happy with his lot in life, complained and criticised Jehovah's arrangement of things to the point where Jehovah took action. But remember, Korah had family. He had children. His children, his sons, saw and heard what he was saying. Would they allow blood ties to supersede their loyalty to Jehovah? Well, what happened? Numbers 26. Numbers 26. Verses 10 and 11. Then the earth opened and swallowed them up. As for Korah, he died with his supporters when the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a warning example. However, the sons of Korah did not die. So why is it that the sons of Korah didn't die, whereas the families of Dathan and Abiram and other members of the family of Korah died with them in their rebellion? Why didn't they die? Because the sons of Korah had cultivated true loyalty. Their love and loyalty to Jehovah superseded any other loyalties. They would not let blood ties affect their relationship with the one, actually the only one that could give them life, Jehovah God. Now, were they blessed? Were they blessed for that loyalty, do you think? Well, every time you open the Psalms, oftentimes you'll read one of the Psalms that was written by the sons of Korah. Why were the sons of Korah given that privilege? Because Jehovah cherishes true loyalty too. He loves those who love him and stick by him, even in challenging times. Is there a lesson for us, brothers and doing something that they know they shouldn't have done, that contravenes Jehovah's moral laws, for instance, and they need help. But maybe now our loyalties are going to be tested, aren't they? They're conflicted, because on the one hand, we feel a loyalty to them as friends. That's what friends are. However, at the same time, and this is where the misguidance comes in, well, I need to be a friend to them. I won't say anything. But they need help. You think about it for a moment. If someone is dying of cancer and they need medical help, and I know need that help, I said, no, it's okay. I'll help you. I'll do what I can. No, because I can't help you. But I know who does and can. You need to go to the specialists. In this case, Jehovah has given us the elders in the congregation as loving shepherds to care for those matters that will help the person set matters right with Jehovah. It's his arrangement. You see the point? To try and sidestep that is actually misguided loyalty. It won't help them. It's not friendship. True friends help one another. Here's the thought. Proverbs 27 verse 5. Proverbs 27 and verse 5. Notice the principle. Open reproof is better than concealed love. The fact is, our friend needs counsel, direction, perhaps reproof, but they need that discipline if they're to stay on the path to life. To intervene, to block approach, would be an act of disloyalty to Jehovah God. And that's true loyalty that we need to protect. So true friends will help the person, encourage them to come forward, and if they don't come forward in a reasonable time, then we would have to come forward. Because if we really care about them, then we know they need help. See the point? Don't allow misguided loyalty to undermine your relationship with Jehovah, but make sure it's true loyalty. That will help us. This true loyalty is beautiful. We said it affects every relationship. How about marriage itself? Where does true loyalty lie with regard to my marriage? Well, the fact is that love for Jehovah should never be separated from our personal attachment to each other. After all, when we got married, we made a vow, didn't we? We took vows. We vowed to love, honour and obey one another. Till death do us part. We made that vow in front of an audience and before Jehovah God. How does Jehovah view the marriage vow? As sacred. Marriage is sacred, and we need to protect our marriages. But the danger is we can get distracted. And if we don't strengthen true loyalty to Jehovah God, it can be undermined. An interesting little commentary on what can happen in a marriage that can undermine that loyalty was this comment. I'll just read you what it said. A first step in that direction is taken when marriage mates become emotionally distant from each other, alternating between being fully present in a relationship and not being fully present is where betrayal finds its need. You've heard the phrase used in the world, a midlife crisis. Well, one, it's not a crisis, it's a betrayal. It's an act of gross disloyalty to your partner in life and to Jehovah God. But more than that, this phrase, midlife, where does that come from? I mean, let's put it in perspective. How long, brothers and sisters, are you hoping to live? I don't know about you, but I'm hoping to live forever. Are you? Yeah, that's my hope. So can you tell me, what's the midlife point of forever? So it's a midlife nonsense, isn't it? That's exactly what it is. What we need to do is protect the sanctity of marriage, and we will if we cultivate true loyalty. Can you see the point? It's an absolute determination in our mindset to put on the new personality, to allow Jehovah to mold my thinking, which protects all these relationships and strengthens that result. And the other one we want to look at here is Proverbs 16 verse 18, which is very relevant with the times in which we're living and the challenges that we face. Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Pride is before a crash and a haughty spirit before stumbling. Pride undermines and destroys true loyalty. You can't have both. And it leads to a downfall. One man who suffered from pride and ambition, was the man Ahithophel. Do you remember him? He was David's trusted advisor. In fact, it was said of Ahithophel that his advice was like the advice of an angel. That's what it says in the scriptures. That's how trustworthy his advice was. But what happened? When Absalom tried to usurp the throne, what did Ahithophel do? He jumped ship. He turned traitor. He turned his back on his Lord and Master and really committed treason. How did David feel? Well, we can read how David felt in Psalm 55. Just have a look. Psalm 55, he's talking about Ahithophel and how he felt about him. This man who had been his trusted advisor. Notice what he said. For it is not an enemy, verse 12, who taunts me, otherwise I could put up with it. It is not a foe who has risen up against me, otherwise I could conceal myself from him. But it is you, a man like me, my own companion whom I know well. We used to enjoy warm friendship together. Into the house of God we used to walk along with the multitude. How sad that Ahithophel had committed treason, turned traitor, and what a sad end to his life for doing so. But is there a lesson in there for us? Well, having intelligence without humility and loyalty is no intelligence at all. Intellectual ability, close association with prominent ones, years in the truth will not immunize us against the coming to pride and rebellion. That was true of Ahithophel, and it's true of those who have more recently apostatized from the truth. Brothers and sisters, we want to demonstrate our loyalty by doing what? By not getting involved. You see, the apostates would like to give you leaflets and get you to read or to go online. And you know, sadly, what happens, and this is where we have to be careful, because social media, YouTube, the internet, what brothers do is, out of curiosity, I need to find out what they're doing. Some of these apostates, be warned, are filming and recording everything you say and put it on the internet. Do you really want that to happen? But then what's happening is some decide, I want to see what he said. Well, that's an act of disloyalty. That's exactly what they want you to do. But our loyalty belongs to who? To Jehovah God. Don't let their pride and arrogance undermine our true loyalty. Let us respect Jehovah's arrangement. Remember what the Apostle John was inspired to say. They went out from us because they were not of our sort. We protect our relationship and Jehovah's organization by cultivating true loyalty. It belongs to Jehovah and his spirit-directed organization, don't you think? And if we do that, we protect ourselves and maintain our joy. So can you see, true loyalty affects everything we do, every relationship we're in. It's a beautiful quality that we want to cultivate. And one way we can demonstrate that loyalty, of course, is by sharing in the ministry this week, enjoying that together. So if you've noted the different changes, hopefully we can be there and enjoy our ministry together in the first call work. If you look at the schedule, earlier in the morning we're going to be doing some public witnessing, business territory, street work, return visits, different days during the week, and then we're going to meet up for house to house. We also have an afternoon arrangement at 1:30, so you can check where that's going to be. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then in the mornings, brothers and sisters, for house to house, Lorraine and I are free to work with any of you. We'd love to work with you and enjoy our company together. So come and see us afterwards and we'll fit you in and enjoy a week of activity. But let's just summarize this material this evening then from The Faithful Slave. The point is this, brothers and sisters, that whatever the test that we may face, the strength to display true loyalty comes from where? From having a strong, intimate relationship with Jehovah God. Meaningful prayer, personal study is important, it's vital. We want to make it our determination to keep our loyalty to Jehovah above any other loyalties we may have. Brothers, don't allow a conflict, a division, or misguided loyalty undermine your loyalty to Jehovah. And key to this is this verse, and we're going to come back to this on Sunday, so let's get the link now. Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3, okay? And we want verses 5 and 6. And we're going to come back to this on Sunday, so it's a good link. What does it say? The key to developing true loyalty? Trust in Jehovah with all your heart and do we be determined to do the same. And then on Sunday, we'll see the link to that loyalty, to our ability to develop an unbreakable bond with the one we can't see. We look forward to discussing that on Sunday. So let's conclude our meeting. Lovely to see you all this evening, brothers and sisters. We look forward to talking to you afterwards.